Hi, thanks for joining me today. I wanted to share with you today something that I often teach in my classes, and that's just what the heck your hamstrings are. Most of us think we have tight hamstrings, and most of us do, but for some of us it's not necessarily the hamstrings that are the tightest part, or it may just be one of the hamstrings, because the hamstrings are actually 3 different muscles. So I'm going to show you how to find each of those and figure out where you actually need the work today. So we're going to do this lying down on our backs, and you're going to need a yoga strap or a long tie or a piece of rope or something like that. You're going to lie down on your back, wrap the strap around the sole of one foot, and take that leg up into the sky. Now, if your hamstrings are actually tight, you won't be able to bring your leg straight up. Your leg will be a little bit out, or you'll feel the need to bend your knee. If that happens to you, just accommodate that. Let the leg be further out. That's fine. Bend the knee a little bit. That's fine. The main thing is that you're figuring out if your hamstrings are tight. Now, if you can bring your legs straight up from the ground, your hamstrings aren't actually that tight. This is functional movement right here. Your hamstrings attach from your sits bone down in your bottom to the below the knee. So they help bend the knee. They also help extend the leg behind you. That's why bringing it forward stretches them. So with your leg up in the sky, straight up from the hip, the stretch that you feel in the back of your thigh, if you feel a stretch, if you don't feel a stretch, you don't need this, skip to the next video. That stretch in the middle of the back of your thigh, that's the middle hamstring. Most of us, this isn't really the tight one. Now, take your leg just a couple inches towards your midline, so that's over towards the other side of the body. Not so much that you feel your outer leg, but just enough that you feel the back of your leg on the outside. So middle hamstring, now we're moving to the outer hamstring. This is where things often start getting a lot more interesting for people. If this feels a little tight, or you just needed to bend your knee, well, that's a tight hamstring. Now, bring your leg back to center, and we're going to find the inner hamstring, which I find for most people is the most interesting, especially for men. I'm not quite sure why that is, but there you go. So take your leg now just a couple inches out to the side, so that's away from your midline. Not so much that you feel the inner thigh, but just enough that you feel the inside edge of the back of your leg. So just to the inside of that middle hamstring. And again, if you felt the need to bend the knee or move your leg further out, that's a tight one. So this is how you can figure out which of your 3 hamstrings actually needs the work. I find for most people, it's not all 3. For me, it tends to be more the outer one. And that's the case with a lot of people that do a lot of walking or running or biking. So when I come into a hamstring stretch, this is what I aim for, is taking my leg just a little bit over towards the midline. Remember to check both legs, because none of us are really as symmetrical as we might think or hope. Let me know what hamstring's the tightest for you. Always helps me to learn what people have going on. And good luck with that. I hope you enjoy stretching your hamstrings. Let me know too if your hamstrings turned out not to be tight, and then that'll let me know that we need to work on some videos for everything else that tightens up the back chain of the body. Thanks so much for joining me and exploring. I always appreciate it. Namaste.